If you've been following the Carpenter Jesus, this is the message you can't miss. Have you ever wondered what John truly saw when the heavens opened in Revelation? What if what he witnessed wasn't just prophecy, but a vision of our very time? Have you ever wondered why Jesus spoke so urgently about the end of the age? What if the warnings he gave were more than moral lessons, but secret keys to understanding the spiritual currents shaping our world today? The answer lies deep within Scripture, and what you're about to hear may change how you see everything. From the Mount of Olives to the visions of John in Revelation, Jesus left a trail of clues, messages hidden in plain sight, layered with meaning, and largely overlooked by even devoted believers. In the next 20 minutes, we will uncover these hidden prophecies, explore their spiritual significance, and see how they echo in the signs around us today. The scene opens on a quiet, olive-strewn hillside. The disciples gather around Jesus, their faces etched with curiosity and unease. The world had changed rapidly. Empires rose and fell, false prophets seduced many, and even the temple in Jerusalem had become a symbol of both devotion and corruption. In this setting, Jesus spoke words that would ripple through centuries, yet most of humanity has barely grasped their depth. "See that you are not led astray," he said, his voice steady yet commanding. "For many will come in my name, claiming, 'I am the Christ,' and will deceive many. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. These things must happen, but the end is still to come." On the surface, these warnings seem like cautionary tales. Wars, famines, and natural disasters, nothing extraordinary to the attentive eye. But Jesus was pointing to spiritual realities hidden beneath worldly events. He knew that history itself would become a mirror for divine purpose, a tapestry woven with signs and patterns. Every earthquake, every uprising, every betrayal was not merely political or natural. It carried a spiritual message. Matthew 24:14 continues, "And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come." Here lies the first hidden truth. The end is not only a moment in time, but a culmination of human spiritual awareness. The spread of the gospel is not incidental. It is a signal, a divine marker that humanity is approaching a pivotal threshold. But what if the truth was hidden for centuries? What if the familiar passages you have read countless times hold layers you have never truly seen? Luke 21 provides another layer. There will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars. On the earth, nations will be in anguish and perplexity at the roaring and tossing of the sea. People will faint from terror, apprehensive of what is coming on the world. The celestial events, the cosmic disturbances, they are not just metaphors. They are spiritual symbols, warnings encoded in the natural order. Consider the disciples' perspective. Even Peter, bold and impulsive, struggled to grasp the depth of these revelations. Jesus spoke of the abomination that causes desolation, rooted in Daniel's prophecies, signaling the rise of forces opposed to God's kingdom. This was not a riddle for intellectual exercise. It was a preparation for spiritual discernment, teaching his followers to read the invisible currents shaping history. History itself becomes a living example. The Roman occupation of Israel, the destruction of the temple in 70 AD, the rise and fall of empires, and even the horrors of the 20th century, world wars, global ideologies, and moral collapse, are shadows of the patterns Jesus foretold. Every upheaval mirrors the spiritual principles he taught, emphasizing vigilance and understanding. Consider the tension of the times. Rome's oppression, religious factions, false messiahs claiming authority. Jesus' prophecy transcends the immediate historical context. It reaches forward to times when deception, confusion, and moral decay would challenge every generation. And in Revelation, John writes of angels holding back the winds, seals broken one by one, trumpets sounding warnings, and bowls of wrath poured upon the earth. These are not isolated visions. They are echoes of the warnings Jesus whispered on that hillside, reframed for future generations to interpret. Could it be that what appears as chaos and destruction is in fact a divinely orchestrated signal, a message written across history itself? The signs are everywhere if one has eyes to see. Natural disasters intensifying, moral confusion spreading, nations in turmoil, the gospel reaching every corner of the globe. Yet few perceive the spiritual significance, the hidden patterns connecting past, present, and future. Jesus also warned of false prophets and deception. For false Christs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. This is not merely a caution against individual error, it is a systemic warning about spiritual blindness. Humanity is prone to misinterpret signs, to follow the spectacular rather than the true. And herein lies a critical hidden prophecy. Discernment will become the dividing line between those who endure and those who falter. Pause for a moment and reflect. How often do we look at events, natural disasters, political upheaval, cultural shifts, without asking the deeper question, what is God communicating through this? The hidden prophecies of Jesus are not puzzles to solve, but lenses through which to see the spiritual dynamics of our era. Every headline, every natural calamity, every geopolitical tension can become a mirror reflecting spiritual reality if approached with reverence and insight. Now, consider the imagery Jesus used, the fig tree. Now, learn this lesson from the fig tree. As soon as its twigs get tender and its leaves come out, you know that summer is near. So also, when you see all these things, you know that it is near, right at the door. The fig tree is a symbol of Israel, of seasons and of readiness, but it also conveys a spiritual principle. Timing and observation matter. The signs of the times are not arbitrary. They follow a divine pattern. Recognizing them requires spiritual sensitivity, patience, and faith. Let us move deeper into Revelation. The 7 seals, the 7 trumpets, the 7 bowls. These are not simply apocalyptic imagery. They are layers of understanding, a roadmap for those seeking to comprehend the hidden movements of God in the world. When John sees the heavens opened and the Lamb standing as though slain, he is witnessing the culmination of the very messages Jesus delivered on earth centuries before. The thread is continuous: warning, preparation, revelation. History provides modern parallels. Consider global conflicts escalating in patterns reminiscent of prophetic warnings, the rise of ideologies that challenge morality and truth, and unprecedented natural events capturing worldwide attention. Even technological advancements, information spread, and social upheaval echo Jesus' insight. The world moves in a rhythm that reflects both human choice and divine design. Could it be that what appears as chaos and disaster is actually a call to spiritual awakening? The hidden prophecies urge believers to perceive, understand, and act with wisdom. The faithful are called not merely to observe, but to interpret, to see behind the curtain of time and recognize the divine narrative unfolding in history. Jesus' teachings were always layered. Take the parable of the 10 virgins, for example. On the surface, it teaches preparation and vigilance. But in context with the hidden prophecies, it becomes a blueprint for spiritual readiness, emphasizing discernment, endurance, and prioritization of eternal values over temporal distraction. The wise virgins represent those attuned to God's timing, alert to the spiritual currents that flow through history. And what about the abomination of desolation? While some interpret it narrowly as a historical event, it also serves as a symbol of systemic opposition to God's kingdom. recurring in every generation where deception and rebellion rise against divine truth. The hidden prophecy here is profound. The forces that oppose God are relentless, subtle, and pervasive, but they are never beyond divine control. Faithful observation and spiritual alignment remain the key to understanding and endurance. Now imagine the world through the lens of these prophecies, a global stage where spiritual battles unfold behind the visible, where seemingly random events are interwoven with divine orchestration. Every headline, every crisis, every moment of upheaval is a thread in a cosmic tapestry. To see this is to step into a perspective that few truly attain, a perspective Jesus offered to his disciples, and through them to all who seek understanding. Even today, as nations wobble, economies tremble, and cultures clash, these hidden prophecies whisper a message of discernment. Look beyond appearances, seek truth, and align your heart with God's purpose. The spiritual map Jesus provided centuries ago is not obsolete. It is urgent, immediate, and profoundly relevant. And yet, even amidst this revelation, there is profound hope. Jesus concluded with reassurance, "But he who stands firm to the end will be saved." The hidden prophecies are not messages of despair, but of guidance, awakening, and salvation. They urge us to prepare spiritually, to cultivate wisdom, and to live with eternal perspective in a temporal world. As we reflect on these teachings, the question arises, how do we respond? How do we, in a world full of distractions, uncertainty, and falsehood, align ourselves with the truth that Jesus revealed so long ago? First, by seeking discernment, not casually, not superficially, but with intentionality, prayer, and meditation. Discernment is the spiritual lens through which we begin to see patterns that others overlook, truths that are hidden beneath layers of deception. It requires patience, humility, and a willingness to question our assumptions, to confront the comfort of complacency, and to open our hearts fully to God's guidance. Second, by observing the world with spiritual eyes. Every event, every shift in culture, every headline, and every natural phenomenon may carry a divine signal. The world is not as random as it seems. History, politics, nature, and even personal trials are interwoven with spiritual significance. When we learn to read these signs, we begin to understand the invisible currents that Jesus spoke of. And when we align our lives with this understanding, we are no longer passive observers. We become active participants in the unfolding story of God's plan. Third, by embracing faith, hope, and courage. Faith is not blind. It is a deliberate choice to trust in God's wisdom, even when the path seems uncertain. Hope is the anchor that keeps the soul steady amid chaos, reminding us that every trial has a purpose and every challenge contains a lesson. Courage is the strength to act rightly, to stand firm in truth, and to live with integrity when the world pressures us to conform or turn away. These three, faith, hope, and courage, are the keys to walking faithfully through the signs of the times, as Jesus instructed. Do you see now why these prophecies have remained hidden for so long? They are not meant to be obvious. They are invitations, deliberate, profound, and challenging, to engage deeply, to wrestle with truth, and to emerge spiritually awakened. They demand that we move beyond superficial understanding, beyond mere repetition of words, to a living, breathing connection with the eternal truths that Jesus imparted. Those who truly seek will find clarity and guidance. Those who are complacent, distracted, or indifferent may pass through life unaware of the spiritual realities unfolding around them. And yet, even as we recognize the gravity of these revelations, there is profound hope embedded in them. The end times are not simply a future event. They are a spiritual reality that begins now. Every decision we make, every act of obedience or neglect, every choice to embrace truth or ignore it interacts with God's divine timeline. Life itself is a stage on which spiritual realities are enacted, and awareness of this transforms how we live each day. Being ready is not only about surviving the trials, it is about thriving spiritually, understanding our purpose, and living in harmony with God's design. Reflect on this. How often do we allow life's busyness to blind us to the signs Jesus warned about? How often do we fail to recognize the spiritual lessons embedded in our daily struggles, in the suffering of others, or even in the beauty and complexity of creation? The hidden prophecies are mirrors reflecting our spiritual preparedness. They call us to vigilance, introspection, and transformation. They remind us that true readiness is cultivated, not accidental. It grows from devotion, prayer, and the conscious pursuit of wisdom. Do you think we're truly ready for the final revelation? The truth is, readiness is measured not by the world's standards, but by our heart's alignment with God's will. It is about standing firm in faith when the storms rage, remaining faithful when deception abounds, and choosing the narrow path of truth over the wide road of ease and compromise. Take time to reflect, meditate, and pray. Seek insight not only for yourself, but for those around you. Share the revelations with humility and love, guiding others toward discernment and awakening. The hidden prophecies of Jesus are a map, but it requires engagement, thoughtful reflection, spiritual sensitivity, and courageous application to navigate them successfully. And remember, the words of Jesus are not distant echoes from a bygone era. They are living, breathing instructions for navigating the spiritual currents of our age. They call us to awareness, action, and hope. They invite us to step out of passivity and into the role of spiritually awake, discerning participants in the unfolding story of God's kingdom. If you've been following the Carpenter Jesus, share this message widely, discuss these revelations thoughtfully, and continue exploring the mysteries he has entrusted to those who watch and listen carefully. The path of discernment is demanding, yes, but it is illuminated by his eternal wisdom. Every step we take toward understanding, every moment we choose faith over fear, and every act of obedience strengthens our connection to the divine plan and prepares us for what lies ahead. The question remains, are we truly ready? Are our hearts aligned, our minds awake, and our spirits vigilant? The end times are not distant. They are approaching, and they are already here in ways most fail to perceive. Let this be a moment of awakening, a call to reflection, and an invitation to live with eternal awareness. The hidden prophecies are not just words. They are a living guide, and the time to respond is now.